Okay, Year 7, welcome to our new topic of directed number and the number plane. This is the very first time we have done anything on this topic, so we're starting brand new and fresh. Now, the number plane, we're not going to look at that just yet. We're actually just going to focus today on what directed numbers are and how we can put them on a number line, not a number plane. So I've got a little example here on the first slide of what a number plane looks like, and we're going to talk about it in more detail soon. You will need a heading in your book, directed number and the number plane. At the moment, you don't have to draw this image, okay? I said to you guys, I don't want you to focus on writing too much. I need you to listen to what I'm saying. You need to listen. It's the same as me explaining it on the board. So listen up, write anything that you're confused about or you're not too sure about. Okay, Year 7, so we're going to begin by looking at integers. Now, before we start looking at number planes and where numbers fit, we need to start with an idea of what an integer is. Now, most of the time, if I write down 2, -2, -3, you'll all say, oh yeah, that's just a bunch of numbers, miss. Wrong. These are what we actually officially refer to, guys, as integers. Integers, or an integer is another word for a whole number. Both positive and negative numbers, or negative integers, have a size and a direction, and so we often call them directed numbers. So I've got 1, 2, -2, -3. These are all integers. What's not an integer? If I have, say, 2.5, that is not an integer. It is a number, or in a fraction. Actually, if we're being really technical, it's a mixed numeral. So that's the first thing you have to understand. Integers are another word for a whole number. That's what an integer is. This, integer. This, integer. This, not an integer. Pretty straightforward, guys. That's the first thing you have to understand on this slide. Second thing is this idea that numbers both have a size. So 2 has a size, but it also has a direction. It's a positive number, so it moves in the right direction. -1, that's also a number. It has a size. It's a negative size, and it moves in a direction, moves towards the left. Okay, this will make a little bit more sense when we start looking at the number line. So, first thing, integer, another word for a whole number. So when I say 2, what's that on the board, Mr. Alessi? He would say that's an integer. When I ask Andrea, what's that on the board? She would say that's an integer. And then when I ask, who am I going to ask? Mr. Kelly up the front. When I say, what's this, Mr. Kelly? 2.5, he'd say, that's a number, miss. Actually, it's a mixed number, okay? It is not an integer. So that's what you need to understand. Second thing, you need to understand that these integers or these numbers also have a size and a direction. That's why we're looking at this topic of number plane and directed numbers, because numbers have a direction. So that's going to make a little bit more sense when we move on to the next. The number line. So this is what I was talking about with direction. This is a number line. This is an example of a number line that we have here. You can see I have 0 in the middle. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, positive, negative, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from the 0, as we move positive this way, okay, these are positive integers. Their size increases and their direction increases. So we're moving towards the right when we get positive. From the 0, as we move down, that's a direction. We move to the left, our numbers increase and they also decrease. Our numbers decrease. Sorry, guys. As we move to the left, our numbers decrease and they also decrease with size. These are what numbers to the left, or negative numbers, are called negative integers. Positive integers. Why are they integers, not numbers? Because they are whole numbers, okay? They're not fractions, they're whole numbers. So as we move to the left of the 0 on the number line, our numbers decrease. As we move to the right, our numbers increase. There's also this idea of opposites on our number line. So our example here that I've just jotted down for you, we have +3. +3 on the number line has an opposite of -3. +2, -2, +1, -1. The only thing that's different is our 0 here. So this is what a number line looks like, guys. When we mark something on a number line, we simply do a dot, a line like that. It's really straightforward. So symbols that we use when we're using, particularly when we're looking at integers and particularly when we're looking at integers on a number line. I've got them in this little table. I wrote it out in blue because I thought that maybe helped it make a little bit more sense. Anyway, what have we got here? When the first one, when we have a symbol that looks like this, that means greater than, okay? This one is greater than. You might want to jot these down, okay? Second thing, less than, points that way. Good way to remember it. What have I just been talking about with direction? As our numbers increase, they move to the right. This guy, which way is he pointing? Towards the right. When numbers decrease, they get smaller or less than. What direction is this guy pointing? To the left. Less than. Okay, that's a good way to remember it. However, if something is greater than or equal to, so you see, oh look, the value of it is greater than or equal to 5. So how we draw that on the number line? Greater than, and we put a line underneath it to say equal to. So I've got the greater than symbol pointing to the right, that's the direction of it, but with a line underneath it means or equal to. The other way, less than or equal to. Really straightforward, guys. What you need to understand from this tutorial. Integers, the fact that they are whole numbers. Also, the idea that integers, either positive or negative, have a direction. As we move to the left, our numbers decrease and we move into negative integers. As we move to the right, our numbers increase, okay? And we move towards a positive number, or we increase from wherever we started on the number line. Really straightforward. Recognize the number line, understand it starts at 0, and understand what these symbols mean, and you will be fine.